Good morning, my name is Josh from CyclonesOZ, and here is your detailed weather forecast nationwide for Wednesday, the 7th of May 2025. A lot to crack through today. Showers and storms going to continue along the east coast of Australia in the next couple of days, with some isolated heavy falls expected along the New South Wales northeast coast, and maybe even in towards southeast Queensland as well. Let's jump straight into the forecast right there. Over the next couple of days, we are expecting some calmer and more collected conditions for New South Wales and southeast Queensland, powered by a weak high pressure system right now, which has dropped temperatures in the night times and creating some stable and calm skies for much of New South Wales and extending in towards southeast Queensland as well. Some beautiful days yet to come. You can see showers are going to steer out of New South Wales, just a few expected down in the extreme southeastern corner of the state around the mountainous areas and then down towards Mallacoota and Bega, and a few showers swinging up early tomorrow morning into the Sydney area and then up to north through Cessnock and through towards Newcastle and Taree as well, and then a few showers from tomorrow afternoon expected to dominate the weather scene up in northeastern New South Wales around Coffs Harbour, where some moderate falls can be expected through tomorrow night and into early Friday morning. We could be seeing rainfall accumulations between 20 to 40 millimetres up to the 9 a.m. Friday morning, and then it's going to kind of open the floodgates, and we're expecting showers to be streaming into the New South Wales coastline through Friday in towards Saturday, especially through the northeastern parts of the state. Whilst none of these showers are expected to be especially heavy and they will be sporadic, few and far between, we could still be seeing some moderate falls when the rainfall does pipe up for the northeast of New South Wales along this weekend. Saturday and Sunday bringing rainfall, and then those winds swinging out of the east and even the northeast at times as that high pressure ridge builds once again into the Tasman Sea, bringing more brief periods of rainfall through Sunday in towards Monday for the New South Wales coastline, and then this rainfall finally beginning to ease off, not before some heavier falls can be expected through Tuesday and Wednesday, where 25 millimetres, between 25 millimetres out to 50 millimetres is possible between Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday along the New South Wales central coastline, and then those dry conditions finally coming in by around Friday or Saturday the 16th or the 17th of May. By the looks of things, it does look like mid-May things will continue to dry out a little bit for New South Wales, still a few showers lingering here and there. So overall, the next 2 weeks after today and even just out towards tomorrow morning is when we're expecting the good weather to kind of remain, and then after that it looks like the bad weather is going to set in, and we're going to be talking about showers and the odd storm here and there along the New South Wales east coast for the foreseeable future. Whilst there isn't an extraordinary amount of rainfall on the forecast, the ECMWF definitely on the extreme side of things with the rainfall forecast. You can see 14-day rainfall accumulations aren't anything crazy here, and when you consider this is actually spread out over, like I said, 14 days, these rainfall accumulations aren't anything to be concerned about. It does go to show that the small amounts of rainfall that we're expecting every single day pretty much will add up quite considerably, and falls between 100 up to 150 millimetres can be expected along the New South Wales northeast coastline, with falls between 25 and 55 millimetres expected in inland areas adjacent to the coastline, including Grafton, Lismore, down towards Taree and Kempsey as well. Heavier falls expected around the Bend area and the central coast between Sydney up towards Taree and Forster, especially around Newcastle, where falls along the coastline are expected to be in the triple figures, especially as we get later on into the forecast period around mid-May, and heavier falls are possible as you get further south between Sydney up towards Newcastle, especially around the Gosford area, where isolated falls of 125 millimetres are possible. Maximum falls here are 135 millimetres on the forecast modelling. Interestingly though, rainfall is not going to be heavy south of Wollongong, with falls between 10 and 50 millimetres expected to be spread out over the next 14 days between Mallacoota up to Wollongong itself. That's generally one of the wetter places that we see along the New South Wales coastline, so it is a bit interesting that we're not seeing heavy rainfall down there. And the congruency between the major forecast models, it just goes to show that there is going to be a little bit of turbulent weather in the Tasman Sea, powered by that high pressure and low pressure systems kind of mixing in with each other, and that's going to provide the showery and, well, I guess the miserable weather for the New South Wales coastline. Some of it will extend up in towards southeast Queensland as well. I haven't gone too into detail about it yet, but you can see over the next 10 days on the forecast modelling, the ECMWF suggesting up to about 50 or 60 millimetres into southeast Queensland and along the Sunshine Coast. Again, it's just going to be showers streaming up from the south, so the rainfall isn't expected to be heavy, and it's not expected to be too widespread, and it's pretty much going to be just coastal based rainfall, with totals between 25 and 50 millimetres expected on the coastline, with a few drops of rainfall making it a little bit further inland. But again, right now it is sunny skies for southeast Queensland, a couple of clouds and a bit of fog here and there, but same deal for New South Wales as it is for southeast Queensland. It is sunny skies and collected weather at this point in time, so enjoy it while it lasts, because it's not going to be hanging around for too much longer. The weather is a little bit more turbulent as we head further north in towards central and northern Queensland. You can see around the Whitsundays a few showers streaming in from the southeast this morning as well, powered by some fresh winds. Hamilton Island 45 kilometres an hour out of the east this morning, gusting up to 60, so we've got near gale force wind gusts along the Whitsundays and into the North Queensland coastline, and some heavier rainfall accompanying it as well. Whilst these showers are few and far between, there's not an awful lot of them. You can see moving into Conway National Park at this point in time, just outside of Proserpine, rainfall accumulations approaching 12 to 15 millimetres an hour from some slow-moving showers moving into this region here. North Queensland is going to be a location to watch over the next couple of weeks as well. We do have tropical moisture that's streaming through, and that's what's driving this rainfall here out of the southeast. Whilst it is going to be dry throughout the remainder of today, some heavier showers can be expected to move through and towards tomorrow morning for far north Queensland, especially through the Cassowary coast before the rainfall dries out tomorrow night through Friday and in towards Saturday. Relatively light rainfall is expected there, and then Friday night into early Saturday morning, that southeasterly trade flow is going to pipe up once again, and as such, rainfall expected to be quite heavy at times through far north Queensland along the Cassowary coast, and then down through the Whitsundays as well, through some exposed coastal locations. Those southeasterlies could bring some heavier showers down there, and we could be talking about falls to the 9 a.m. on Saturday morning between 20 and 50 millimetres through the Whitsundays, and up to 100 millimetres through the Cassowary coast, and even up in towards the Daintree rainforest as well, with heavier showers picking up once again through Saturday night and into Sunday morning. The rainfall will dry off just temporarily through Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. There still will be a few showers lingering here and there, but right out into the mid to late May, you can see rainfall accumulations not expected to be anything significant, and then much later on into the forecast period, we start to see the tropical activity begin to pipe up into the Coral Sea, and the Eastern Weather forecast model is calling for some absolutely bonkers stuff to occur here along the Cassowary coast and in towards far north Queensland just in general, with some absolutely ludicrous rainfall accumulation numbers now in the longer range forecast modelling here. So the European forecast model, at least in the short term, has proved to be quite reliable, but I would just like to illustrate this, and I'm going to illustrate my point quite clearly with the 14-day rainfall accumulation map here. But the European forecast model here is calling for some pretty wacky numbers, with up to 1,000 millimetres of rainfall expected on the cards up in far north Queensland along the Cassowary coast. And the reason why I'm remaining so calm right now is because that is just not going to happen. Not only is 1,000 millimetres of rainfall absolutely unheard of at this time of the year, especially as we get out towards late May, because considering that the more reasonable forecast is giving about 200 to or 150 to 200 millimetres over the next 10 days or so, that's actually going to happen. There will be similar rainfall accumulations to that along the Cassowary coast, so 750 millimetres coming through in about 2 or 3 days, absolutely unheard of at this time of the year. Not going to happen far north Queensland, no need to worry at this point in time, but it does illustrate the point that there is going to be some tropical activity over in the Coral Sea, and we've had the Axis G convective forecast model calling for some low pressure system activity to be occurring, which is also what the Eastern Weather forecast model has just gotten on board with as well. We will see a tropical low develop south of the Solomon Sea. Whether it will be a rainfall depression or a full-blown tropical low, that has a chance of going tropical cyclone sometime between Monday and Wednesday next week, the 12th to the 14th of May respectively there. You can see that this tropical low does get its act together quite quickly through Wednesday and towards Thursday, and for quite a while now the axis has had this moving into the Coral Sea and intensifying quite quickly up towards tropical cyclone status. The axis is a very bullish forecast model when it comes to tropical cyclone activity, and that's why other major and probably more reasonable forecast models to use aren't calling for a full-blown tropical cyclone in the Coral Sea. If we do see a tropical cyclone in the Solomon Sea out towards Vanuatu or New Caledonia, impacts for Queensland are going to be very limited, even in terms of rainfall, and definitely in terms of wind speeds. Impacts are going to be very limited, that's for sure. But if we do get a tropical low, even if it is a tropical low or a rainfall depression moving through PNG and then into the northern parts of the Coral Sea around the Weipa area into the Cape York Peninsula, there will be some more drastic impacts for far north Queensland, and that certainly will be something that we'll keep a very close eye on. The major forecast models also have a tropical low / rainfall depression developing north of Arnhem Land in the Northern Territory through the Timor Sea sometime between Monday and Thursday next week. It'll be a very brief and short-lived system and likely to get ripped apart from wind shear pretty much as soon as it does form, and the impacts on the Northern Territory weather, and same for northern Queensland, the impacts there should be pretty minimal. The good news is that if these two tropical lows do form, and normally two tropical lows, especially in February or March, would be quite problematic in terms of rainfall up in far north Queensland, but it looks like they're going to be forming far away enough, and especially right now as in terms of a kind of time frame point of view, they're going to be forming far enough away from Queensland as to where their impacts are not expected to be felt by Queensland itself, which is very good news indeed, and definitely looks like we're not going to be talking about tropical low or tropical cyclone impacts, not just for Queensland, but anywhere around Australia for the next 6 or 7 months or so. Hopefully, fingers crossed on that one there, and definitely touching some wood, that's for sure. And that is basically it for Queensland. There's not an awful lot more to be talking about up there, just some showery stuff. The miserable weather will return up there. They're definitely done with the showers, that's for sure. We will likely see a return to those though throughout the course of this weekend before it dries out later on next week. But yeah, that basically does it for Queensland. There's nothing else to be talking about, unfortunately, around South Australia and Victoria, and that really does break my heart to say that you can see rainfall accumulations down there over the next 14 days looking really disappointing as well, and you can see rainfall accumulations just across South Australia and Victoria just looking very disappointing in general. I might just add that this blotch of rainfall here that I've been ignoring the entire forecast, there is a reason why I've been ignoring it, is it's not going to happen. I mean, this would be a disaster if we saw another 250 millimetres fall in the Diamantina, the Cooper Creek Basin, and the Paroo and the Baloo River basins as well. That would be an absolute disaster, but it's just not going to happen. It's far too late in the season for that to happen, and again, between major forecast modelling, there's absolutely nothing on there from the other major forecast models, so that's the reason why I've been dodging that comment there. But anyways, let's get back to the regular program. Down towards Tasmania, some strong winds and some severe weather is moving through. In fact, this kind of caught me off guard. The cold front that's moving through Tasmania right now, it's just crossed the west coast. It's got most of the state under a severe weather warning at this point in time, and rightfully so. Winds are actually very strong across the Tasmanian islands. Mount Cyclone Island Lighthouse blowing at 70 kilometres an hour out of the northwest. That's not especially strong for Mount Cyclone Island. It's one of the windiest places, not just in Australia, but in the world, generally speaking. Gaffs Hill as well has been blowing its guts out overnight as well. We've had winds around the Gaffs Hill area up around 70 or 80 kilometres an hour overnight, but that has just started to calm down a little bit. I'm trying to find it here. Yeah, Gaffs Hill just starting to calm down now. Low Rocky Point at 54 kilometres an hour as well. So this cold front definitely packing a bit of a punch, that's for sure, and some windy, wet and miserable conditions expected across Tasmania, especially through the west coast and down into the southwest wilderness throughout the remainder of today. So again, affecting a very small fraction of the Tasmanian population. The remainder of Tasmania not expecting anything significant in the way of storms, wind or rainfall at this point in time. Interesting stuff. The cold fronts down that impact Tasmania are absolutely brutal, and this one is no exception, that's for sure. It's definitely a powerful one and a great way to start winter off, that's for sure. Quite a strong low pressure system powering it with a pressure of 960 millibars about to go in towards Macquarie Island, which itself is absolutely blowing its guts out as well. 57 kilometres an hour out of the northwest, gusts up to 100 down there. Anyways, that is all that I have time for today's forecast update. If you have enjoyed this video, then please consider leaving a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There is actually quite a bit to be talking about around Australia over the next 14 days, so stay tuned for more information. It's definitely some smaller stuff, but it is going to be affecting some more niche pockets of Australia. So if that's your cup of tea, then make sure you are subscribed as well. Click the join button down below as well to get access to some exclusive perks, and check out my other videos as well. But that is all for me today, and I will catch you all at the next storm. Goodbye.